Okay, welcome again to the Area 111 live stream. This is your host RH, trying to do a night landing at Tyndall Air Force Base, taking off from Pensacola Naval Air Station. And this is how you set it up. This is the world map. Now I've already deleted about 4 or 5 live streams. So I actually landed late afternoon. It was successful. The only problem is the controller wasn't responding, and it landed really good, but I fully accessed the brake and the reduced the engine speed where it should have come to a safe basically speed where I can get the aircraft off the runway and taxi it basically to the taxi point. But that didn't work, so I left it up there because VFR flights in the day is a lot easier. Now this is a lot harder, a lot difficult. Okay, even in a clear sky nighttime flight, taking off from Pensacola Naval Air Station and landing at Tyndall Air Force Base. So this is how you set it up. Go to the world map. Okay, let me go back. Okay, you go to the welcome screen, right? When you sign in a Microsoft Flight Simulator, if you have a Xbox console, gamer console, you get the Microsoft Flight Simulator software. You load it, and then this is what you'll see. Okay, you go to the welcome screen, you go to the world map to set up a custom flight. And I've already got it in the history, but it's not the exact runway I want. I want a takeoff going in the eastern direction from Pensacola Naval Air Station. So this is how you do it. So they had me whenever you just pick, okay, so for example, KNPA Pensacola, it'll have you take off in a westerly direction, and then you have to do like a 180 to head towards Tyndall, which is that direction, right? And so I want to take off from this runway 07 left. Okay, that's the departure I want to take off from. And again, we're setting up a custom flight for a F-18. Let's see here. Let's see if I can go back now. So my profile, you see it's the welcome screen. You go to profile and go to your hangar. You have to select the aircraft you want in your hangar from the different aircraft you have a choice to basically put in your hangar. You put an F-18 in your hangar, and that's what you will basically fly when you set up the custom flight. So going back to the profile, going back to the welcome screen. See here, you get the training, but it's not really set up for custom landing. You have the ability to do aircraft carrier landings, which I did, and I got a score of over 1 million, so y'all can go check that out. That's on my YouTube history, saved it over there. So please, if you haven't done so already, follow my channel Area 111 on YouTube. Son of Liberty 111 is my gamer tag, or whatever you call it. But anyways, okay, going to the world map. Yeah, it would be nice to have 500 followers or subscribers on YouTube so I can actually be monetized and share a lot more content. And I have the settings for I guess that's Twitch. Let me go. Live streaming on Twitch, right? You can share actually my live streams on your own YouTube channels if you like, right? And hey, give me some constructive criticism, whatever. But anyways, the simulator is pretty good. It's pretty accurate, in a lot of ways. Again, this is a night flight, again, from Pensacola Naval Air Station, runway 07 left, and I want to arrive at Tyndall Air Force Base. I want to select my own runway, so I can just basically come in from the west and land on the western runway, so I don't have to do any 180s and all that stuff, right? Because this is a night flight, even though the weather's good, right? Even though the weather is good, it's still difficult to fly an F-18 and land safely. On a night flight. Now VFR is a lot easier. Okay, here's Panama City Beach now. Tyndall Air Force Base is right there on the coastline. You have to zoom in to see it. Hold on a second. This is crazy. Doesn't even tell me the runway. Again, I want to land at Tyndall Air Force Base. Here we go. Okay, so this is I want to go into land on this runway, 14 right. I want to try this runway. I've been trying this runway for like the last 3 times and that worked out too well for me. Doesn't mean I can't do it. I just like this runway a little bit better. Set as arrival. So here's the custom flight set up already, flying from Pensacola Naval Air Station from runway 07 left and landing at Tyndall Air Force Base, Panama City on runway 14 right. So that's set up. So once you have that set up, you hit fly, and basically the aircraft will begin to taxi for me onto the runway 07, what was it, left again. And I gotta turn on my nose wheel steering. Okay, so I can actually control the aircraft on the runway to make sure it doesn't veer to the left or right, and when I'm taking off, and have a good takeoff and landing where I can steer the aircraft. Okay, so you can't, this is the runway, the night runway, and it will be taxiing onto the runway itself. Now you can do your own setup, but this is custom, and I don't know how to set up where I can taxi myself from a hangar. That would be really cool, but a hangar from on Pensacola Naval Air Station, and actually taxi myself to the runway and take off. But this is the outside view, and to set up the nose wheel steering, it is defaults at it's not turned on, so in these custom flights you have to set it up yourself. There's probably an easier way to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So best way to do it, the nose wheel steering selection is on your joystick or your yoke, as they say. Okay. To the right of the paddle switch. There it goes. It's very hard with trying to control this with the game controller, right? There we go. Nose wheel steering is off. Turning it on with A. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's on now. Okay, so y'all saw where it was. It's on your controller. Now when you're doing a day flight, you can see it a lot easier. Obviously this is set up for night flight. You got your HUD there. So ready for takeoff. Going to do a cockpit view of the takeoff, and once I get it airborne, I will go to the outside view so y'all can get a better view of the area at nighttime. It's really cool. So turn that off, and let's begin. Let's go ahead and take off. It's going to be a full afterburner takeoff, and after I get to a safe altitude, I'll go ahead and lower the airspeed or the engine speed to military power, whatever we call it. So with that said, let's go. Disengaging the parking brake. Controlling with a nose wheel steering the aircraft to stay on the basically the center line. Go ahead and lift up the nose. There we go. We're at lower the landing gear. See now, eastern departure. So I'm lining up now to Tyndall, which is 91 nautical miles east-southeast from Pensacola. Outside view here, and what I will do is I'll follow the coastline, the Gulf of Mexico coastline from Pensacola to Panama City. So we're at about 6,000 feet. Not full afterburner, yeah, I lowered the airspeed. So it was supposed to be full afterburner takeoff. Now, I used to be stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base in the 80s, and was a pilot simulator technician. That was a really neat job I had. You could have when you were aerospace control and warning systems operator. It's just one of the many jobs you're able to do. Of course, the commander of your squadron or whatever, where you worked at, he can basically reassign you to a different position, basically utilize your experience and that kind of thing. But I was a flight pilot simulator technician. I actually used the controls, control panel of an F-4 Phantom to help train the controllers going to controller training school. So no, I'm not a pilot. I do have a little bit of knowledge of actually flying aircraft and directing them, and being directed to fly to certain locations for weapons controllers. But anyways, hopefully that makes sense. So I'm gonna kind of hug the coastline again. I head back north a little bit, and so I like that line up a little bit better to Tyndall. 6,000's a pretty good safe speed. You know, I'm not going to be doing any rolls or anything like that, or loops, or, you know, I want to land this thing and land it safely. Now, the last couple of times I had problems with my controller, my battery died right when I landed, and I had no controls to slow down or brake or whatever. So I went off the end of the runway. Yeah, so we can fly it, and we can fly this aircraft basically from the cockpit view, but y'all wouldn't get that good of a view. So obviously it's harder to fly, take off and land at nighttime, but when you have the coastline lit up like this, right there in the Gulf of Mexico, there's Fort Walton Beach there below me and passing on my left. So from the cockpit view, that's what you would see. Fort Walton Beach. That's the HUD. Staying in at around 6,000 feet. Still 43 nautical miles out from the runway. Start lowering my airspeed. So what you see when you're out over the Gulf, you don't have any of these lights or land markers as you could use them for seeing where you are as far as the coastline goes. And Tyndall's right off the coastline, so it's easy visibility on a clear sky like tonight. Now this is pretty accurate when you go outside. Now it should be clear sky tonight as well. Get about 10 nautical miles out or a little bit further, I will lower the landing gear, lower my flaps, begin the descent. y'all to check out the YouTube videos I've shared. I did a flyover over Mar-a-Lago, simulated flyover, of course, and with F-18. That was a pretty neat landing. I mean, flyover, I should say. Go ahead and start lowering landing gear here shortly. See the strobe light. Go ahead and lower the landing gear now. Lower the flaps. Lower the airspeed. Have to basically go around. That was terrible. Now, I was expecting to come in on the right runway, but it had me on that's what I thought it selected, but fly around. This is horrible. Apologize for that, though. I'm going to try to basically circle around it. This is what it looks like. I have to set up again for landing. Got to make sure your aircraft is flying level. About 8,000 feet now. It's better to be at a higher altitude when you're maneuvering and trying to circle around and set up your approach again. So okay. Okay, so I'm 18 miles out, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to spin this to a 180. Lower my airspeed. Go ahead, put my landing gear down again for the next try. At least I didn't quit, right? And I didn't crash it, so that's good. Okay, so it was showing me the basically the trajectory, so I should have landed on the right runway, not this left one. So I'm going to fly around again. Pick up the airspeed again. Don't want to basically get that much airspeed, but let's try this again. You saw those like red brackets, that's where I was supposed to land, but it was giving me the strobe light on the wrong runway. I'm not too happy with that, but anyways, hey, it's a simulator, so like a game, if you will. But it's kind of like a pretty accurate simulator. So we're back up to 6,000 feet, which is a safe altitude. Basically, you gotta really watch that altitude. Circling around again. That was what you'd be doing when you're in the cockpit, right? To get your bearings straight. You see this HUD where I got my cursor at right here. You have to keep it lined up. So between those two markers, so line it up. There you're flying level, straight, and level. So go ahead and start doing a turn again and try a reapproach the runway. And you see the coastline, that's a marker. As you swing the aircraft around again. I don't know. You're supposed to land on the strobe. That's supposed to be the runway you're supposed to land on. I thought it was the one on the right. I'm just going to go ahead and land where the strobes are. What's it going to do? This is a custom flight anyways. So, man. Go ahead and lower the landing gear. Nope, that's not going to work either. Way off. Way off the approach, everything is wrong. Pick up the airspeed, pick up the nose, get some more altitude again, try it one more time. Okay, the landing gear is down. See? See, it's up. And it's back down, right? Yes. I'm going to follow the coastline as best I can, try a reapproach, maybe a little bit further out, and get lined up better. About 5,300 feet above. Panama City Beach. You know, when you have the landing, when you basically lower your landing gear, you can actually hear it, you know. So it's not very realistic not to even hear your landing gear go down. And anyways, not whining about it, just, and thank God this is simulation. Probably be in trouble. Of course, I have indefinite fuel. I don't have where, so we're 15 nautical miles out, 16, going over 16 now. Go ahead and start making a turn. Let's try another reapproach for the landing. Lower the landing gear. Lower my flaps. Airspeed back down again. 3,800 feet is not a bad elevation to start your approach. Okay, now stop. I got the brakes fully engaged. Engine speed should be already off, and it's going past the end of the runway again. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Well, try again, right? That's crazy. I totally turned the engines off. I had full brakes. I had the brakes fully engaged. And the thing wouldn't slow down. It just went right off the runway again. This thing climbs. Really climbs. Yeah, especially with full afterburners on. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'll probably leave this one up. We'll see what's going on here. Bunch of crazy stuff going on. Now the training one, you have the approach bracket, so you just stay within the nav aids. It actually will direct you right in, tell you how much, where you have to be as far as your altitude and your speed and everything, and you just basically follow it, and it's a lot easier. But this is a custom setup, right? Remember, see those nav aids right there? It directs you in to land on the runway. So we're gonna pass that, right? We're gonna pass that and come back in. See, now it's working, right? It's crazy. I'm supposed to land on that runway, not pass the runway and try another landing. Lights suck. I don't have the lighting set up right either. Oh, that's supposed to set up for you. See what approach it's giving me now? What in the world? This thing is jacked up. It's not. It's not working right in my opinion. $20,000 feet, 21,000 feet. No, it's not like we just hop into a plane right like this, fighter jet like this, and just go from VFR flight, right into IMC flight, instrumental meteorological conditions, which can be at night flying, right? And you just jump from one to the other without any training, without the flight simulator training that they get. Believe me, the ground school training is quite a bit. It's quite extensive, right? So before they even get up and fly and rely on their instruments, they have all that ground school training before they even attempt it, right? So I don't know how many millions of dollars in training goes into training each pilot, but fighter pilot, but it's quite a lot. So I gotta lower the airspeed, get my altitude. Man, it just it's going crazy. Just go ahead, another approach. Try another approach. Try not to make these live streams that long. Pattern entry. Why didn't they give that to me when I was approaching the first time? Entry is trying to put me into a pattern. I really don't want to get into a pattern. I just want to land the thing and end the live stream. Having a late supper tonight, so I'm kind of hungry. Sure, my landing gear is down. Now this thing's gonna blind me, right? Well, we could try the entry. Let's see where it's gonna try to put us at as far as the landing goes. Okay, here goes nothing. Full brake engaged, full brake. Come on. Stop. Stop. I don't want to do this again. Stop. I don't want to run off the end of the runway. Okay. Okay. Good. Here's the taxi markers. Come on. What is up with this? Great. We'll be able to taxi here. Taxiing now. That was a hairy landing. Scary landing. Let's say it wasn't a hairier landing, it was a scary landing. So any critique or whatever, or any help here, that would be nice. Okay. For those experts out there with a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Kind of curious where it's going to tax me to. That night sky. I hope this thing ain't putting me on the runway again to take off. I want to go to the taxi location. Normally they guide you into the taxi location. If it doesn't, I'll go ahead and end the live stream. Hopefully people got something out of this. Looks like we're on the runway again. Normally these lights, they give you the taxi lights and ground services. Let me go select that. That's the other crazy thing. It directed me off the runway. I thought it was going to taxi me. It looks like it put me right back on the runway again. Okay, let me go ahead and turn in here. That's where I'm supposed to taxi to and stop, I guess. Or there's ground crew. There's a ground crew, that's cool. So it did work, okay. light will shut off once you get in right there. Okay, stop. And that's a successful, I guess you call that a successful landing and taxiing to shut down, right button. Okay. We shut down the aircraft, so completely shut it down. Wow, that's crazy. The crew's out there in the, looks like in the middle of the runway, but I don't know. That's crazy. You'd think you'd be off the runway where the hangars are and that kind of thing. In a safer position. But let's see here. Go back to the cockpit. You can shut off the battery and all that stuff. I've done that before. Let me see here. Where's the canopy button? It's that red button. I can't touch it anyways. So it's inoperative, whatever it is. Park and brake. It's over here. Fire test. It's on. Okay. On. Okay, that's where I want it. Okay, I thought the batteries were over here. The battery and everything was over here on this side. I want to raise the canopy. A lot of controls inoperative here for some reason. Landing lights. If I could turn them on now. Let me see. Nope, nothing happened. I would think the canopy switch would be over here on the left somewhere, away from the controls, because you don't want to accidentally bump that when you're in flight. I thought they were up here. All these switches inoperative. Be cool if you can actually get out of the plane, right? Raise your canopy, get out, and thank the ground crew. Give them a salute, whatever. APU starter. Starter engine. Not mistaken, I think that's your ejection control right there. You pull on that with all your might and basically to eject the aircraft. At least I think that's what it is. Windshield de-ice. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer. There's a generator button. Battery. I don't want to turn it off yet. Okay, I'm just gonna have to do some research on the canopy. I don't know if you can actually raise it or not, but hey, everything was successful and outside view. Appreciate y'all following this channel. We successfully landed. I guess you can call it a successful landing. Even those attempts where I went off the runway and basically took off from off the runway again, I guess. Circled back around about 4 times and finally landed safely and taxied off the runway like you're supposed to do. There's my ground transportation. Hey, we're over here. I need a ride. I need a ride to the taxi. Okay, with that said, appreciate y'all following this channel, subscribing to the YouTube channel portion. I will share this Twitch live stream to YouTube, and you can share it and help out and hit that subscribe button. Hopefully I'll get over 500 followers or subscribers and I can get monetized and I'll have a lot more content. I'm getting ready to fly to Black Star, I guess you call it. Let me go out of this. And anyways, I'll talk about that during a different live stream, but I want to get a little bit more proficient in landing the F-18 Hornet carrier landings and also regular ground landings, whatever. So with that said, thank you for your support. For those, and pop a comment in the chat or the comment section once I save it over on YouTube. Hopefully it's not too long. But with that said, talk to y'all later. Thank you.